Okay, so now that I'm done putting the stencils on the top and of course the bottom, just like that, real easy, you're going to paint them. Now, again, it doesn't matter how you paint it or what you put on there. It should mean something to you, something special, of course, or you can just put, your own designs. If you can draw, then I recommend drawing on there, but I'm not that good of a drawer, so I don't do that. Where is my top? Oh, well, it's not that important. And, of course, again, you're just going to paint whatever you've done. And there's tons of different little, back up, tons of different things. I recommend the 25 assorted paint brushes, so that way you have a little bit of everything in here. And it's pretty cheap, about $5. You get plenty of them. And if you happen to need something like a new chip brush, it's like 79 cents, real cheap. You can go to Walmart or Michael's or something and get that. And of course, you just paint. And of course, I would recommend using colors that work for you. Like most goddess symbols are silver, so that's the color that I'm going to be using. And shake up your bottles real well so that way you get an even color through them, about 15-20 seconds or so. And just dump it. And that's a pretty good, you can see it's brush for what we're going to be doing. And of course, probably these two brushes are pretty good. And don't want them up there just in case I get mad at myself after we paint. And you just load the brushes. Of course, you should wet it, but I forgot to do that. And you just go with your outline. And be gentle. Don't rush it. Just take your time. And I recommend outlining first. And when you're painting, paint really, especially acrylic paint, really does go a long way. So you really don't need to load your brush every time you make a couple strokes or every time it seems like it runs out. You just use what paint is there until it goes away. And then you reload again. And just be simple. Like that. Now when it comes to altars, of course you can have them as big or as small as you want. This one's about 12 inches by 9 inches or so. It's a fairly good travel size. The ones that I have in my room right now is actually a 20 by 24, which is good for indoor stuff. And of course you just paint it just like that. And you're just going to finish that off, and then you're going to varnish it. Now when it comes to varnish, I either use, this is a satin, which is kind of a, come back up. I use a Duraclear varnish like that. It's a satin, and it kind of has like a matte type finish to it. And then of course there is the more, what I recommend, a gloss brilliant finish. That's a bit easier to wipe off if you happen to get like wax or anything on there. That's pretty much all there is to it. If you have any questions or anything like that, I know it was really, really rather simple. But that's pretty much how a lot of things are. You're like, oh, I don't know how they did that. Most of the time, it's either hand drawn or they use stencils or something like that. And you don't have to worry if you happen to make a mistake. Like I made a mistake here. I went over the line a bit too much. You don't really worry about it. A lot of things that come out really nice actually actually have come about through mistakes on a couple of my candle holders. Um, they're actually big mistakes on there, but it ended up working out and ended up liking it. So just take your time, don't rush it, have fun.